Hi, this video is to help you review some of the things that we've been working on in Guitar Club at school. We wish we had time to have Guitar Club more than once a week, but we don't, so I decided it would be nice to have some videos so that you can spend some time reviewing in different ways throughout the week and come back to class ready to advance and make the most of the time we have together. So one of the things that we've been learning two notes in Guitar Club. We've been learning the E and the F. Now the E is the first string open, and I count them from this one. The one that's furthest away from me is the first string. So I count first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And the E is the first string open, so it's the highest sounding string, and that's an E. Now if I press on the first fret, I get an F. And where you want to press is behind the metal and not too far behind the metal. If you're all the way on the other side of it, you have to press harder to get the note. So pretty much just behind the first fret. The frets are the metal bars that you see going up the neck of the guitar. So I'm behind the first fret, and that gives me an F. So I know E and F. And I think the last song that we learned is called The Gypsy. It's in the book that we've been looking at, and it has lots of E's and F's in it. So if I just want to review the notes, I can just practice playing things like E, F, E, F, E, or F, E, F, E, F. And to give you an idea of what's coming next, the next note that we're going to learn is going to be G. And that's up on the third fret, and in order to not be moving around too much here, we're going to use our third finger, our ring finger, to get there. So I'm taking my third finger, and I go up to the third fret, and I'm again right behind the metal, and that's a G. So now I can practice playing up, E, F, G, or back down again, G, F, E. And you can play around with that and play things like up and down, or down and up. The main thing to get from this is that new note G is coming up, and we'll be seeing that soon. Now we learned a couple of chords, a few chords actually, we know 3 now. And the first one we learned is the easiest chord to play that's a real chord, and it's called E minor. And to play E minor, I'm going to leave the first string, the second string, and the third string all open, and then I put my ring finger here on the 4th string 2nd fret and my middle finger on the 5th string 2nd fret. So these two fingers are both on the 2nd fret on the 4th string and the 5th string, and then the 6th string is also open, and that's my E minor chord. And we've been practicing a strum that goes down, down, up, down, up, down. So I can go. And we talked about how you can do this with a pick. I'm doing it with a pick because it makes me the loudest for this video. You could also do it with your thumb or your fingers. I'll put the pick down here. They're all slightly different sounds. I play with a pick most of the time. That's what I'm best with. So that's E minor. And to get to E major, I just add my first finger to the 3rd string 1st fret. So it's going right there. And that gives me E major. So that's a good chance to hear the difference between a minor chord, E minor, and a major chord, E major. And if I just say E, I'm talking about E major. An E chord and an E major chord mean the same thing. I have to say minor if I want it to be minor. So I think line 2 on that paper has E minor going to E major, and every measure it changes. So we start, then it goes to E major, back to E minor, back to E major. think it's actually a little bit longer than that, but that's the main idea of it. And line 3 on the chord strumming paper that we've been looking at has a measure of A minor. Now A minor is a little different. It's basically the same shape as E major, but I have to move every finger one string that way. So my first finger is going to go from the 3rd string over to the 2nd string. My ring finger moves to the 3rd string, and my middle finger moves to the 4th string. And now I strum everything. But I also might not want that low E, that low 6th string. And a good trick for that is if I just loop my thumb over here and just kind of touch it. Now even if I hit it, I'm not going to hear it ring. That's called muting, and that's a good trick to use. So line 3 on that paper starts with this new chord, the A minor chord, and we're going to play 2 measures of it. Then it goes to an E minor chord, that first one we just talked about. Only 2 fingers. And then I move to E major by putting my first finger down the way I just did. Then there's a repeat sign that takes you back to the beginning, so I'm going back to A minor. And another measure. And E minor. And it all ends back on A minor. One long chord. So I'm going to use a metronome here, which is something that's a really good thing to practice with. It gives me a beat. And I'm going to play line 3 on the paper, so you can play along if you're practicing and you've been following me so far. I think you should be able to do it. So we're starting on A minor here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's E minor, E major, A minor. To stop it. And of course it's fun to try to speed things up a little bit as we go, so I'm going to crank this one up. Let's try it this fast. And 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, last thing we're going to talk about is the next chord that we're going to learn, just to give you a taste of that. And that's going to be an A major chord. So if we start with our A minor chord, where we just were, all I have to do is add my pinky here now to the 2nd fret on the 2nd string. That makes a straight line across on the 2nd fret. The 4th string, the 3rd string, and the 2nd string all have that 2nd fret now. And I don't need to hold down my first finger anymore, because it doesn't matter what happens behind the finger that's fretting on any string. So I can keep it down or I cannot. If I'm going to be switching back and forth, I'm probably going to keep it down, which is exactly what I'm going to do right now. So my A chord sounds like this. This is my A major. And you can hear that's different than my A minor was. That sounded like this. Once again, it's A major and A minor. So playing those, practicing going back and forth between the two of them, or just practicing your A major. A really good thing to practice when a chord is brand new to you and you just want to train your brain to land all your fingers on it at the same time. A really good thing to practice is to hold the chord down. Again, I got the 2nd fret on the 4th string, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, 2nd fret on the 2nd string, and then I got the 5th string and the 1st string. They're both open. And then I just kind of hop my fingers. Like I just pick them up a little bit and put them back down again. as much as I think I can lift them and find that spot again. And then as I get better at it, I start pulling my fingers away further until I'm just able to just straighten my fingers and take them away, and then just go right back to the chord. That's how your brain can really remember where your fingers need to go and how it feels for your fingers to close right on that chord and find it. So I hope you all are having fun playing guitar and looking forward to the next guitar club.